Hey everybody, I thought today we'd talk about some survival, especially on the PvP side, but to do a recap on the PvE side, well, it sucks ass, and we're moving on! It's like really bad. I think it's one of the lowest DPS specs right now. I think there's one spec underneath, right underneath it. I don't know what class it is, I forget. I saw the WoW logs last week. It could have changed this past week since the changes. I have no idea. But from what I saw last, I think it was less than 7 days ago, it was one of the lowest spec, the second to last one or something. And it just is such a stupid spec. It makes no sense. You have to rely on mongoose bites, and you have to rely on your explosive trap. It's so stupid. It just makes no sense. But on PvP, it's a pretty damn fun spec, and still does somewhat decent damage, and there are some comps you can play in threes that will do well, but I think it's a very skill-based spec. It really is. There's not many people who are high on the ladder. In threes, you have maybe Dillypoo. Yosk is way up there too. He's playing Ret Survival, like Resto Shaman or Ret Survival, maybe. Oh yeah, but I think it would be Resto Shaman because Disc Priests aren't the best. Neither Resto Druids are absolutely garbage. And you already have a Ret, so why'd you get a Holy? But anyway, that's not the point. If you saw my pre-patch video like 3 months ago, we didn't have honor talents, so my tree was completely different. I was doing this for a spec, and for BGs, it's a lot of fun. It still works. You could still use the spec for BGs, and no problem. But if you're going to play arena, then you want to change it up. You want to do a different talent tree, specifically this. You get rid of Ranger's Net, you get rid of Steel Trap, you get rid of Murder Crows, and on your honor talents, for the most, it's going to be just this. These two right here, so Scorpion Sting or Spider Sting, Master's Call, Tracker's Net, Survival Tactics, Reinforced Armament, or Sparring. These two change depending on what comp you're facing. And these can change depending on what comp you're facing. Like if you're facing a what is it, RMD, Rogue Mage Druid, you're probably gonna get CC'd a lot. So you kind of want reduced duration on CC. You lose your trinket, but instead of 8 seconds, it's whatever it is, 20% less than that. And then they nerfed the Viper Sting, so you have to use Mortal Strike Pet again. Whether it be this bird here, the Scorpion. Oh yeah, those are the only two because this isn't a Beast Mastery spec. So either the Carrion bird, whatever it is, or the Scorpion, because those two both have Mortal Strike. And then you can switch to these two depending on what comp it is. The Spider Sting only works on offensive casters, so if a healer is healing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't silence them. And then this is absolutely garbage. It reduces the healing down of one spell, pretty much. It's just stupid. 30% for one spell, or just get the 25% Mortal Strike with your pet. Seriously? Who the hell's calling me? Alright, you know what's driving me crazy? Tomorrow's the goddamn election. So, they're trying to persuade you, man. They're trying to persuade who you're voting for. Well, you know who I'm voting for? None of your business. Exactly. That's how it should all be. Oh my god. Like, leave me alone. I think it's gonna ring one more time. I'm sorry. Alright, anyway, back like I was saying. So, that's mostly how you're gonna do your talents for survival. I think these talents can change too, but for the most part, versus dot teams, survival tactics is taken, because it takes all of them off. And Feign Death is only a 30-second cooldown. So it's like a 30-second dispel, and it reduces damage taken by 99%. But these two are really good. Melee cleave comps take critical cat-like reflexes, and sometimes you might have to take Dragon Skill Armor versus those pesky other dot teams too. And that's that's pretty much the PvP talents. And then Master's Call, always take Master's Call. Why would you not take Master's Call? This is a stupid talent. This is a stupid talent. They're stupid. I don't know why they're in the game, but they're dumb. Anyway, back to these talents. So, for the most part, Throwing Axe is still really good. talent choice, free damage, and it's ranged. You know, why wouldn't you take it? Way of the Machnathal, it's one of those things, you know, you ramp up your charges with Raptor Strike, but then you have to control those and at the same time use your Mongoose Bites, so it's just so stupid. It gets confusing, and in my opinion, it's just not worth. You get guaranteed damage with throwing axes, where you could get somewhat damage based off the way the Machnathal, and I'm pretty sure anyone is taking throwing axes anyway. And then Snake Hunter is just like a million times better. The thing about Snake Hunter now is that because you take Snake Hunter, you macro it in with Aspect of the Eagle, because they do not share global cooldown. So you would use your 3 Mongoose Bites, use your macro, and it uses the 2, or it uses Aspect of the Eagle. And because you have, if you are putting artifact power into your weapon, you should be getting Aspect of the Skylord eventually. I went this route. I went to the right first, got the Talon Strike, and then I just went right around. Then, boop, right to Aspect of the Skylord. Increases damage dealt by 30% during its duration. So, use your 3 Mongoose Bites, pop Aspect of the Eagle, gives you your, and it pops Snake Hunter, gives you 3 more Mongoose Bites, and then you pop Fury of the Eagle. So, it's a pretty good damage. And then outside of that, it's such a long cooldown, so you should be using it with the stacks. This is a minute long, this is 40 seconds long, so I guess the 20-second difference isn't that bad when you need the 3 Mongoose Bites to get the 6 stack into the Fury of the Eagle, but this is like one of those abilities, Fury of the Eagle, that you just have to pay attention to. So, I've seen people take Serpent Sting. I think Yosk takes Serpent Sting sometimes instead of Dragon Fire Grenade. And I think, you know, it can go either way. This is 157,000 damage over 15 seconds, where this is 370,000 damage over 8 seconds. Obviously, it's lowered in PvP because of the way stats work. It's not going to be 157,000 nature damage over 15 seconds, or this isn't going to be 370. It's probably going to be, you know, 200,000 or something. This probably ticks for like 15k every second or something stupid. But you have all these dots. You have your Harpoon dot from your artifact weapon. You have Lacerate, and you have Explosive Trap. And then if you line that up with Serpent Sting or Dragon Fire Grenade, it's a lot of dot damage. It ticks over time. And it's one of those specs where you have to line up your burst with your teammates. So you kind of need competent teammates to get anywhere with this spec. You get a CC on the healer, and then you just line up the burst, and then you probably run around in the pillar, or you just switch targets real quick, and then you do some swaps, and hopefully that works out. Back to, oh yeah, so then you, here on this talent, because you take improved traps, not steel trap, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so you always get sticky trap or tar trap, right? Sticky tar can probably be good versus melee comps, but you have to fight inside of it, and it reduces their attack speed for 5 seconds. Or you can get Tracker's Net, and you can just CC one for 6 seconds, and they lose all their damage, and it's a 10-second cooldown. It probably DRs, I'm 99% sure it DRs, but it's also really good because you can focus Tracker Net a healer into a Frost Trap. Or you can just, you know, hodge into a Frost Trap, or root into a Frost Trap, anything else. But I think hodging into a Frost Trap is much more reliable, because they can't, if it's Druid, he'll just shapeshift out of it. A Shaman will just grounding totem it. You know, all these classes will just get out of it in some shape or form. So you might want to just hodge, stun into a freezing trap. It's just a million times better. But other than that, I mean, survival, it's still, I think they buffed it the past couple weeks, and I finally got to the point with my artifact power knowledge that I'm getting so much that I was able to finish all of my weapons, get all my gold traits. So I've been playing a lot more survival and, you know, BGs and just messing around in some arena. I haven't really tried an arena yet. Excuse me. And I think it's still fun. It feels a lot more like pre-patch again. I remember at the beginning of the expansion, I just didn't like it. I was like, oh my god, it doesn't feel the same. But now that they buffed it a little bit, They gave us 10% more stamina. If you take this talent here, reinforced armor, you get 2.8 million health as survival, which is outrageous for battlegrounds and arena. So, I mean, that's pretty damn high. You beat rogues and you beat warriors, you beat rets in health, which is crazy. So, oh, here we go. Look at this. Look at that. Ooh. Free artifacts power. 182,000, not too bad. But I think that's mostly it. I just want to, just talk about it. Maybe I'll do a more in-depth guide or some battlegrounds or arenas with it. So in the near future, but I guess we'll find out. I'm very bad at making videos. The last video I made was like October 8th, and the video I made before that was like September 2nd or something stupid. Like I'm such a bad person. It's very hard. There's like, I don't know. I think it's hard to do. No, it's not really hard. But anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. So that's all I gotta say. So, till next time, guys. Peace out.